people have we insured are now housed instead of living on the streets, or living on one couch, going from one couch to another in a variety of homes? How many people have we helped employ? How many people have we ensured that they have access to primary care and they have a chance to have the same lifespan as people who do not have mental illness? There are three things that we have to get much better at measuring, because that's really what we're there for. We're not, yeah, we're there to provide medications and psychotherapy and counseling and so forth, but our real job is to help people get to the point where they can live an adaptive, effective life, where they can feel a sense of well-being and self-esteem because they have a life to live. And the only way we can tell you that we're doing that job is if we start measuring some qualitative things. So we're not just telling you how many people came to see us today. And we're going to be working on those and making those public. Another key element of the transformation is something that is also an important feature in any system that's going to be effective, and that key element is that our staff who work with people who have mental illness or substance abuse problems or intellectual disabilities, those people need to make more decisions on a day-to-day basis and not have to send all their decisions up for approval, up the flagpole, if you will. Yes. No. Fairfax is by far not the only. Most systems operate with what we call a hierarchical system. We operate where ultimately the person in the chair I sit in is the one who has to approve most anything, or at least you have to know that I'm not going to get upset if you make a decision. We're going to eliminate that kind of unnecessary restraint on day-to-day decisions. And we're right now working on getting that structure in place. Because basically, we say, and I do believe we have some very competent, very experienced and caring people. They can make decisions, they can make adjustments at the time that they're needed to be made. My baseline thinking as a manager is that decisions need to be made at the point of impact. And we're going to have to do much more of that. And so people like Marcia are making many more decisions, including adjusting their budgets. And I'll give you a good example of why that's important.
I'm too pretty to do math.
I'm sorry?
I'm way too pretty to do math, so I can't adjust my
Well, you're a manager, so you're going to have to get yourself a calculator.
Okay.
But by the way, every place I've been where I've done things this way, one of the biggest challenges for people who are service providers, it's not just women, men too, they can't read spreadsheets.
Oh, I can read.
Every time they see a spreadsheet, they panic. You know, they can sit in a room with someone who's very psychotic and dangerous, and they're fine. Give them a spreadsheet, no panic. In any case, I'll tell you why that's important. And this is just one example. We have a fairly extensive emergency and acute care crisis system. But there are so many times that we get people in who we're really not sure what to do with them. And we can't just follow a formula. These are people who have very complex problems, and sometimes it's not easy to figure out what to do to make sure they make it through the night, that their family are not hurt overnight, and you can't put everybody in a hospital. It doesn't work anymore. We don't have enough beds to begin with, but it wouldn't work even if we had enough beds. What do you do sometimes? And when we support and allow our professional staff to make good judgments and give them enough flexibility and resources to make good judgments, they can. They know what they're doing, they just need to be supported. Sometimes they need to be able to call someone up and talk it through, but they need to be supported. And we're having an increasing number of people that we're not sure what to do with when they come into our emergency system. And so I can tell you that it's extremely important that we allow the flexibility for the decision making to be made. Not just in emergency systems, but in ongoing day-to-day treatment. It makes a difference. People feel more validated when their needs can be met because it was just a minor little adjustment in a procedure. So, I feel like I've lectured to you enough. Let me just say this. Transformation is kind of a strong word to use for what we're doing at Fairfax. What we're really doing is we're taking a system that has been working very hard over a long time to evolve itself into a modern, flexible, responsive system for the people of the county, and especially those we serve and their families. And I came along and I'm just accelerating that evolution at a little faster pace and ensuring that when we're done with the work of that evolution evolving at this point, we will be prepared to face the challenges we're going to be facing. The changing environment that changes almost every day. We're going to be prepared for that, and we're going to be as responsive as we possibly